Let's talk about what you've been doing during COVID, because whatever this is, I gained like 15 pounds, but you, on the other hand, you came out refreshed, renewed, feeling good.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I just kind of like pushed a lot of like people that was like in my life kind of like on the back burner. You know what I mean? Not to say like anybody was like a bad person, but sometimes you just need like your alone time and just figure out like, I had to figure out like what's important. You know what I mean? Instead of just like worrying about like the next person, because that's draining too. So I was like, let me just focus on myself, my kids, and that's it.
And I don't think you get like enough credit for like, one, you were like one of the first influencers.
Thank you.
Two, like you're really like a businesswoman. Like people like always forget that, leave that part out when they speak about Blac Chyna, about like you really go get the bag
every day.
Like being a mom, and like I be like, say whatever you want to say. The girl goes and gets the bag.
A new endorsement, a new show, a new something. It's like in this world, it feels like you're making sure you stay 5 to 10 steps ahead. But I want to go back to something you mentioned, which I feel like we got a lot of it in 2020. To me, was the year. I know so many people were upset because of COVID and we had to stay inside. But I say 2020 is the year of clarity. And you mentioning like, yo, I had to remove certain people, I had to do things. And I feel like 2020 for me was the year of, we're taught to put other people first. Like do this for them or do that. You know, whatever you want to receive, you have to give back out into the world. And I had to realize like, that's not necessarily true. And I was doing a disservice for so many years for putting my emotions second and putting other people ahead of me, where it gets to a point where I'm like, okay, who's paying these therapy bills and who's paying for this emotional stress is something that I had to deal with. So I definitely feel you on that with just like doing, I call it an emotional inventory life check on who makes sense to be here, who's helping me grow.
And who's not jeopardizing my peace.
Yes,
that was for me. Like,
who's not jeopardizing the peace, and at the same time, who's not asking me to be their peace, who's not trying to take my peace, and just really refilling on my happy. So it's like when I hear you say that, that feels like that's a testament to, okay, I know I did 2020 the right way. When you come out of it and you look so refreshed and like good.
And looking good. But the hard part is, which was for me, is like letting go of people that's been there from the beginning. Or like that got grandfathered in, like family. Like you don't get to pick your family, right?
Right.
Or like someone like your friends from like high school, or some of your friends from like like, you know, that you've known so long. But sometimes people outgrow each other, and that's what I had to learn, because I used to be feeling like, oh, like we have to stay friends, and just sometimes you guys
you just change, and then like change is change. Like we change every day. You know what I mean? You could like plan out certain things and set certain goals, but all right, I mean, even for example, like just anything might happen, something might get delayed, so it'll just change your whole path of what you was gonna do. You know what I mean? So sometimes people like, oh, you changed. It's like, nah, we change every day. Just as people, like in general, you know what I mean? I might not have the same mindset that I had like 3 years ago, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like, especially like with us, it's like being like in the spotlight and things like that. It's like it's a little bit more stressful. And it's like if the people that's around you can't really get like with the program, then you have to like move on. Everybody can't go with you like to the places that you are destined to be, you know what I mean, to go to and be at.
And some people will hold you back.
So Biggs, I don't know if you guys follow him on Instagram. When I say his quotes are amazing, he put up a quote the other day that says, your day one is not necessarily somebody who started with you. It's somebody who was for you since the beginning and still for you. So that could be somebody you met 2 years ago. That can be somebody you met 10 years ago. And that's when I had to realize the word myself, because there are people who's been with you for the longest, family included, and you're like, we start to be complacent and take in like their behavior patterns, and we just become acceptable to it. But then I realized like I'm really doing myself a disservice by doing that, by accepting their bullshit. is me just allowing this to be in my space, and it becomes a point of it's just being toxic. It's
and it
not
weighs you down.
It weighs you down.
Right.
It's like you're not growing from it on a personal and business level, where I think it's harder to let go and move on than it is to actually like stay and deal with the nonsense of it all and to be comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, and then sometimes people think, oh, you stop talking to somebody or you stop dealing with a certain person. It's like, they're not like a bad person, you know what I mean? They're just not a person for me.
Yeah,
you know
like
what I mean?
nothing happened.
Nothing happened. It's just like people move on, things change, you know, like we're women, we're getting older, it's kids, big responsibilities and things like that. And it's just like sometimes when you do decide to like cut off people, then they go and they do all the extras and things like that. But it's like, if it wasn't a good fit in the beginning, just go ahead and go on with your life. Because somebody might say, okay, that you were the toxic person. It's like,
yeah,
I was a toxic person, so why'd you stay around?
Right.
Type vibes. You know, it's like, oh, okay, I guess.
If you say so.
Yeah, pretty much girl, I guess.
They're like, it was you. You're like, oh, God.
So how do y'all deal with, because we were kind of like talking about this in the hotel room about like trolls and like people on social media and like, because like you're always so happy. Like you might be one of top 5 the most unbothered person I've ever seen.
You wear the crown for unbotheredness.
It's like,
it don't matter.
It can literally be a fucking shit show going on, and you're literally like that meme of the house burning,
and you sitting there with your cup, just
drinking
like,
a coffee,
fine.
reading the paper. It's like, so how do you do that? Like,
I mean, you have like your reality, and if it's like something that's not true, it's not going to bother you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or if it is something that is true, it's like, dang, maybe I should like maybe check myself about it. But other than that, if it's not true and it doesn't apply, then I really don't mind, you know? And half the stuff don't be true. So I just be looking like, okay, these people really don't know me. And that's like my inner peace because you don't know me. So it's like funny to me. I don't care.
I'm trying to get to that point.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get to that point where it's just like I realize things about myself though, where I would internalize certain things because I'm like, okay, you know what? I am a nice person. I'm a good person. Why don't certain people see that? But then I had to realize it's not for everyone to see. And living in a world where you want to be liked by everyone when I don't even like everyone,
it's stressful.
I'm like, girl, what do you like? It's not adding up.
So like, ooh, they so mad.
Yeah, so now I'm at that place, and this is why we even got the bull horns, because you know my favorite line, man. Bitches is mad. Bling, 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 bling. Bitches is mad.
Shout out to Nene.
Upset for no reason.